Joy Prime.
We are back in the studio and thank you for not tuning out. My name is Roslyn Felly. It's now time for us to talk relationship. And today I have two giants in the building with us. This particular topic cannot be discussed with anyone else but these two giants. Now, they're people who understand culture, they understand tradition. And today we are talking about traditional marriage and also inter-ethnic marriages. So when I say we can't discuss it with no other persons than these two, I'm talking about Madame Akosua Abdullah. And this woman, we grew up watching her on TV. We said, no matter what, this woman was just, you know what, I'm not dropping who I am. I'm going to make people accept me for who I am. I'm going to let people love me for who I am. Welcome, Madam Akosua Abdullah.
Thank you so very much.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
It's good to have you here, and it's my first time meeting you.
It's good to be here. This is my first time entering the studio and meeting you as well.
Right. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
And also, this man that we grew up watching on TV, we love him so much, and some gentlemen or young boys wanted to be like him whilst they were growing up. His name, you know, you're growing up and you watch two people on TV like celebrities to you, and one day you have them in your studio and you're going to
He's making us feel old.
Yeah, you know.
Living fossils.
No, I mean, at that time, I think I had completed university. But anyway, we're going to talk about our traditional marriage. In Ghana, some people are of the perception that traditional marriage is not complete until you have your weddings, until you have the whole, hula baloo of having a pastor, pray over the marriage before it's really, really complete. Now, we want to talk a bit about traditional marriage, Bella.
I think, good morning to all of you out there. Traditional marriages in Ghana and in most other African countries, traditional marriage is the marriage. It has different processes. You don't just get married. It's not a matter of boy meets girl and we're so much in love, we're married. It doesn't work like that. There are processes that it goes through. A group. What you do is to tell your parents that you've seen Asumesi and you're interested in Asumesi. So, for example, Monsieur Jackson Davis sees Rosalind, and so there's something they call knocking.
Right. You
go and knock. And then after the knocking, they give you a time to come back. And that time, you see, this is CIA at work. CIA at work. The Ghana CIA, what is it called? BNI?
BNI.
This is BNI at work. So you investigate into the background of the young man. Are they criminals? Do they have any mental illness? All the bad things you look out for. And so when that is done, then the young lady is asked. Even though now what we see in traditional marriages is during the ceremony, Asumesi has been here, should we say yes? But then that is even done back door. All that investigation, all the asking, and they are concerned. Most parents are usually concerned.
Of course.
When you come home to Accra because you found somebody who you love, who is from the savannah kind of thing. But right now we don't have that. But traditionally, it's a total process. The knocking, the acceptance, the coming back and telling you, yes, this is our list. We want our girl to have 10 pieces of cloth, diuku, etc., etc. Because some of the men, after that period, they will not give you anything again.
Wow, that's like a man who is very stingy.
A man who is very stingy. And so some of the families, sometimes you wonder, I don't have a son, so I don't know what it's like. But a tall, long list is given. And you're supposed to make a purchase on all those items and present. You have to compensate mother, father, brother, siblings, kind of thing. So it's a total community family process. You can't just sit with your mom and dad and say that you found somebody and the marriage has been done. You even need people as witnesses to ensure that yes, we were part and parcel of that process, and we can ascertain to the goodness.
In recent times, like Akosia said, when we ask of where the person is coming from, you say, oh, the person is from Savannah. I might not want to travel all that before, we do that. We want to marry now. Now let's talk about the types of marriages, traditional marriages that we have, because each ethnic group is different.
Totally different.
Totally different. We come to the Greater Accra where the women go marry and bring the wives, not the men. I've seen it, yes, some parts, yes.
What? Okay, you
say no. Speak to it.
No, maybe that would be a peculiar one.
Okay.
Where so probably the woman is in a good standing, so decides, okay, let me facilitate this marriage. So she does that. But typically, being a Ga, my father is a Ga, so I know what I'm talking about. It's the man who does all those things.
No, I'm not saying paying. I'm talking about going to the house to perform the rite. So my first marriage, it happened where the man I married in my first marriage is Ghana.
Okay.
And when they were coming to seek for my hand in marriage, the men stayed at home.
The knocking is done by the men.
Right.
And when it comes to the lefe, that is the cloth and brass, whatever you're sending, it's done by the women.
Right.
You hear the koko, you hear the from far away. They come in, you're welcome, giving the traditional akwaba drink, etc., etc. We have come because our men have sent us here.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, our men were here to want to come and pluck a kind of thing. And so the women perform that second component of bringing the they call it engagement.
Yes.
But in the Zongo tradition, it's called lefe.
Okay.
The lefe is brought by the women to ascertain that, okay, yes, this is the woman that our men came to see and they're interested in for our son. And so that is done. But I don't know about the other traditions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because,
it probably was peculiar to
the Gans,
a particular clan
and
or
I think
something.
from some of their ethnic groups, men don't go for there because it's the man, like you said. Maybe it's not even the father. It's an uncle or a close friend to the family who goes to do the knocking. So after he has done that and everything has been arranged, the men sit back for the women to go and do the presentation. Now when they go and come back, they come and meet the men and then the
women who actually go,
they carry all the stuff, the sewing machine, the cloth, the
but it's not so in every ethnic group, is it?
There are differences.
There are differences.
There are differences. For example, amongst the Anglos, you send palm wine.
Right.
And I think they call it vofofo. Please pardon me if I haven't eaten at the me and walk this morning. So the vofofo is presented to the family.
Okay.
And they ask, okay, we've seen the vofofo. Who is this for? Because we have so many maidens in this house. And then whoever brought the vofofo or the knocking fee or the knocking drink will say that is Senna that we saw and it's Senna that we're interested in. And so you're given a time to come back again because we need to ask Senna.
Right.
If it's true that Senna has met Maule, Elom, and is interested in Elom or Maule. And so that investigation is done. But before then, I mean, Openyi Kwekumenu's son. You remember that boy? Isn't it that boy who used to do Kobolo? No, not that one. The other one.
Right.
The one who...
The super one.
Yes, the one who has a farm.
Yes.
He's the one we're looking at for Akosie-chan. Akosie-chan and simple her attitude these days. Since she went to school, she feels she's all that.
She's changed.
She's changed. No. We'll have a conversation with Akosie-chan. And so that happens, and you have no say. This wasn't during our time. This is way before our time. And these arranged marriages, for some reason, they work out.
I was going to ask, how were they working out? Is it that you had to accept your fate and so you had to make it work?
But isn't it almost the same now? Right now on social media, the young people are Facebooking, Twittering, and they meet somebody they barely know. And then through conversation, oh, we want to get married. The boy meets girl, attitude again, they want to get married. And the process is initiated from that point on. Right. Isn't it almost the same as the parents looking out for a good suitor for you?
Yeah, that's part of it. And to add to that, if you go back to there are certain rites that are performed. And in some areas, they cast that baby away. In some other areas, they would, keep an eye on the baby for him to grow to be a person. So the investigation she's talking about is not done by the parents. It's done by an uncle or an auntie.
It's like they set some spice.
Yes. So they go into that family, find out theft in that family. All kinds of things. So they look at it, then they zero in on that person. More or less follow him for some time to see whether it's true, whether he has those traits. If he doesn't have it, then they'll come back and say, oh, he comes from this family. They are supposed to be drunkards and things, but this particular guy, he's okay. He's fine. So those investigations also helped.
Yes, they do.
Plus, the daughter, I know everybody. You know mine. So if there's a problem in the marriage, we don't have to go and call a counselor.
We sit and solve it.
We sit and sort it out. So somehow, like she said, it worked. It worked very, very fine. Even, just to, you'll be surprised that the number one will fight. But at a point, she would sober down.
And there is some traditions where the woman decides that, I'm really tired. Why don't you bring a second wife? So I do the investigation to look out for somebody who will not come and stress me out. Because already I'm tired. Yeah. I need a break. I want to go on retirement. Come and cook and sweep and share that meal with me, kind of thing. And help me wash my dishes and wash my clothes, etc., etc. But these days, when they come, it's a different ball game altogether.
We want to own that person wants possible to have a second wife in this day and age.
Look at the population of women globally. We're not even looking at Ghana, globally. And I remember one of the pastors saying that it will be 7 to 1. And you see, we have so many beautiful maidens walking about without husbands. Who is going to marry them?
So you won't agree?
I probably will agree. Now that I'm going on retirement, I'm tired.
So will you go fish for a wife for your husband?
Oh, definitely. If I'm given that beautiful opportunity, I will go fishing.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I'll go fishing for a co-wife. To come help out a bit.
You're not the jealous
No. She'll do my manicure and pedicure and maybe do both. Some other accusation Menu had, I think in their case, because the second wife was younger and a teacher, my grandmother will wake up at 6 a.m. and pound fufu for my grandfather, and she'll go and buy a fabric that says, "Me ho fe say me cry." I'm more a theater person. I grew up
in one.
And the other woman didn't know how to do some of these meals, etc., etc. So she'll go and buy the wache and the banku and things. My grandmother could toto, cocoyam, and pound it and dishes. And so it makes you, the older ones win the marriage. And they had a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they had a lot of patience. So they sit and watch and listen to all the quarrels between you and your husband, whereas she will not, because she's already experienced. She knows how to treat this person of a man and knows that you are coming on board. We'll see how you're able to manage.
If you go fishing for the wife for your husband, or you agree to the fact that your husband can have a second wife, then you shouldn't be, letting the person feel...
No, this is the case.
Then there was rivalry in the home.
Exactly, there was rivalry in the home. But the other homes, I've been to numerous polygamous homes where first wife, second wife, probably even gang up against the third and fourth. Or when you get there, you don't even know the difference between, you think they are sisters.
Yes.
Sisters.
They treat them, well, I think it also depends on the man.
Right, the whole mindset that if I get married to my first wife, there's a possibility I can have a second wife. So they know how to treat them. But it's not so in these days, is it?
I think that's the influence of the Western world, you know, or the Christianity, more or less. That says that one to one, you know, so people are getting more accustomed to that. But like she's saying, you know, when you get tired of things, what do you do? Or what does the man do?
Find a house help?
And that's the worst problem.
They also have their own issues.
They have their own issues.
They have their own issues.
You know, they have their own issues because it's not pleasant.
They have their own issues.
That could actually break the marriage.
So you would rather have...
Yes, because invariably you would have known this person somehow.
Okay.
You, the man. If it's you who's bringing her in, you know her.
But your wife doesn't.
Yeah, my wife doesn't.
Oh my God.
But once we talk about it and she accepts it.
Okay.
I'm just laughing because recently I watched something. The man brought a woman, you know, with a beautiful shape into the house that you've been complaining you need help in the house. I brought you a house help.
Yeah.
And this house help wasn't a house help looking lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she also looked for
Plum.
a plum. Macho stressed me, but the man quickly got rid of the house help so she could also get
exactly.
But second, third wives.
Are they a necessity?
I can say yes and I can say no. If a man is capable of taking care of them, why don't she doesn't belong to you alone? She goes to Kweku, she goes to Kwesi, but when she's a recognized wife, you know, you can keep an eye.
Yeah.
But even in our society that we are in, if a young girl says, I am going to...
And you still want to be a first wife, go and create your own husband and bring him on board. No. I mean, the reality on the ground is that we don't have enough men, or let's say responsible men, to take care of the young ladies. I hate to see a 30-year-old young woman on the street still waiting for Mr. Right to come. So I say, you know what? Just pick any man on the street, give him a good bath. So at that age, he's also set in his way. He wants, what is this, Nutri-Snack in the morning. He wants a bit of cocoa. You can't change it. You can only try to change it, but it's very, very difficult.
But could this particular mindset not be attached to certain ethnic groups alone? Because right now we have inter-ethnic group away from polygamy and all of that.
Inter is happening because look at all of us living in Accra. Some of us are coming from Boliga, Upper East, Upper West. Some are coming from Nzima. The boy meets girl situation can happen here in Accra. If your mother simply asks you, okay, where is he coming from? And so you have a conversation, or if you know somebody in that region, you call the person up. Can you do a little bit of investigation into the background of this person? My daughter is interested in this. My son is interested in A, B, and C character. So that investigation can go from there. And I think as Ghanaians, I think we can all call ourselves Ghanaians. I'm sitting here, coming from a background where my dad is a Zongo boy.
Okay.
From Kumasi. Gidan Larabawa in Kumasi. Rex, that's where our house is. Rex police station is where our house is. And my mom is an Ashanti woman. So this inter-ethnic marriages, right? My mom is still Catholic.
Did it affect you in any way?
Not really. You know, when we're kids, on Sunday, my mom prepares her delicious Sunday meal, and that's the time we all sit at table with a fork and knife kind of thing. If you don't follow her to church, she won't give you the dessert. And then on Friday, you go to the masjid and you go for makaranta on weekends. So we are coming from a very complicated background. But at the end of the day, at the close of the curtain, and when it comes to language, we're speaking Twi, we're speaking Hausa. So you see, the inter-ethnic has a lot of advantages too. Okay. And when it comes to cuisine, I can prepare TZ, I can prepare you see, my traffic is very bad. The TZ will definitely come.
We'll be waiting.
Albert comes to our house only because of TZ.
Only because of TZ.
You know what she said? My father is a Ghana from Jamestown, British Accra. I go to Axim or the Western region and I flow. I come to Accra, beyond Accra, down wherever I flow. So it's made me richer.
But then again, you know, so when the inter happens in some households, you can't teach the children the language.
No, you can.
You can.
You can. You can and you can't. I'm
It's
saying
both
this because if, for example, a lot of the kids, you know, that she's not going to be speaking her husband's language with you. She'll be speaking her language. So if the father is not stern and firm and strong, his language
will be lost.
will be lost.
Unless you grew up in that vicinity.
Unless
where
you
the
grew
father
up
was
in
born.
that vicinity. If
Right.
not, and if the father is not firm and strong, he's the insults. You know, when I got married, I went to my father's house kind of thing. You know, the language is spoken to you. For example, my grandma, she insisted, anytime she visited us at Legon, she insisted on speaking Hausa. So she insists, and then my dad, you know, a whole professor, so once in a while he speaks it. And so he made it a tradition to ensure that there was always somebody from the other side with us at home. So that when it comes to religion, that person is, because my mom is a staunch Catholic, just say, you know, and so if the man's family or a member of the man's family isn't around, you know, occasionally to guide you on the path of one side.
Mr. Davis, how did you pick the Nzima language?
Because my mother spoke Nzima.
All the time with you?
Most of the time.
Okay.
She spoke Fanti with my dad.
Okay.
My dad never spoke Nzima because I'm sure he understood everything because I knew a lot of insults went in his way. But the man was placid. I mean, he doesn't show any emotion. You know, I'm sure he really understood what was happening to him, but he never showed it. You know, so and my mother made it a point. I got an extra tuition because I went to school there too for 5 years.
Okay.
You know, so it made it much richer for me. I can read and speak Nzima quite fluently.
Oh wow!
And Ghana can do the same thing. I can do all speak, write, and whatever. And like she's saying, I'm losing it because my kids, even though I spend a lot of time with them, for some funny reason, their mother was like,
The two different languages.
4, 5, 6 years.
Okay.
I was born in Accra, Bukum. I can't miss Ghana in Bukum, you know. And everybody, interestingly, anybody who came to live with us for more than 6 months spoke in Nzima because my mother would speak in Nzima with you.
Okay.
So my half-sister, who is in Jamestown now, when I go there and want to do some secret things, we speak in
You
Nzima.
speak Nzima?
Exactly.
And the Ghana people are all lost.
Your mother did
Yes,
well
yes, she
because
did. Yeah.
But now that is our home, and they are there speaking the English.
That's right.
The mummies are speaking English, and so the language is being lost, and it's all because of inter-ethnic marriages.
Right.
You know, one thing I also realized is that if it's inter, and both parents bring up the children in a different community, let's say Nzima, and you grew up in the Ashanti region, the possibility that your children will be forced to speak Twi is higher, and they will lose the other mother tongues as well.
Depending on language. Because I know a family that are in Nzima. Their children don't speak one word of Nzima.
But both parents are Nzima.
Yes, they're Nzima.
So what they speak?
Twi, Ghana, English.
So it looks like now the Twi language is more prominent than
It is.
any
Yeah, it
other
is.
language.
It is.
It was Twi everywhere. And then we traveled to the US. And being in the US, of course, it was English. So it was when we came back to Ghana. That's when my siblings picked up language. Because the Twi was there, the Hausa wasn't that strong. And so you have the kids, you know, are lost. Even my own kids, I remember when we lived in Asylum Down, in the family house, they picked up the Hausa.
Okay.
But the Twi was wishy-washy. You attend a school like Richard, when you speak a local language, you'll probably be hit on your head or something. But when we moved to McCarthy, it was a school where there was a lot of Twi. And these kids wrote and spoke Twi.
Yeah, true. And that's one of the things that's happening right now. I've opened the phone line because people are home to join the conversation. And so we have Nee, who is our very first caller. He's calling us from Spain. Says, good morning, Nee.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
You're welcome. How are you today? Oh, thank you.
And the only contribution I want to make is that I think the youth of this day, like my time, their approach and knowledge about relationship and marriages is different. And it's being influenced a lot by this new world, this first century that I find out. Because when I was young, the things that I find my mom and my dad do is different from how things are being done now. So it's very, 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 very difficult for you to even now approach a lady because of how they carry themselves, the friends that we meet, and how we do our things. As compared to those days when your mother would tell you to mingle with people that will help you with that aspect of the today's world. So the youth are not able to see the other aspect that will help you grow your life or your marriage life. Yesterday, I was telling a friend that I'll be happy if I'm able to build a marriage life than a wedding. Because I know the day, wedding is just a day. But marriage, it will take me a whole long lifetime to be able to have a good marriage. So I think if the wedding, which only a day with fancy things, I think we'll be able to do more and move on well.
Thank you so much, Nee. We are super grateful. Well, it looks like people want the whole marriage bit more than the whole wedding because it's not very...
The wedding. And that's it, right?
Yeah, you don't wear it again.
You don't wear it again.
Why don't we have the men wearing the rings during the traditional marriage?
They do.
They do. The men do.
Yeah, they do.
It's only the wedding band.
Which ethnic group?
The engagement ring.
My grandniece and had a traditional wedding in Takwa. And then
both of
them wore the ring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know, and plus, what they did was that to come to the house
and register.
And they registered it.
And that's perfect. Anyway, I have DJ Smart on the line. Hello, DJ Smart.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're calling us from Boca.
Yes, I'm calling from Boca.
How are you?
I'm very, very fine. And let me also say good morning to my parents in the studios there.
Oh, no.
Yes. In fact, it has been a very wonderful day watching you both.
Thank you.
Yes. But you see, sometimes if I want to look at marriage these days, weddings, Islamic marriage getting destroyed within 6 months, 5 months, 1 year, 2 years. I have a lot of my friends who we attended an array, and now if I ask my child, how's your wife? And he said, oh, matter, we couldn't succeed. What is it? You see, so like these days, the marriage isn't like those days we know of our parents. My mom and my dad, they are both Kusafis. And they marry into the traditional marriages. It will really sound very good, and it will take us to the destination we want to get ourselves, than to get the texture, get the beauty of the marriage, and later, 6 months, 1 week, you call your wife and say, oh, my wife is no more. And then thirdly, it's all about social media. These days, you know, we the guys, the young guys now, flexy. You see somebody on social media, it doesn't know, respect your parents. They can't even value your family. It will cost them. So I want to just say that it is good we focus more on the traditional marriage than the white one. The white one is destroying the world now. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you so much. We are grateful, DJ Smart. But how is the white one destroying marriage?
There was this new trend where you have about 10 to 20 weddings on the same day.
Joy used to have a program like that.
Right. Now, all these people didn't come to that wedding with their families.
Wow. Okay.
It was a church-instrumented wedding.
The mass wedding.
Mass wedding. They got married those times to come today and tell me that they are still together.
The whole team.
Because it wasn't a family
oriented thing.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem, where do you go to?
Where do you go to?
Right, let me answer this call. Hello, good morning, Adams.
Good morning.
You're calling us from Kumasi. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and you?
We are fine, thank you. Let's hear from you.
Yes. My contribution to the program, which I'm enjoying so much. Because I don't get the time to be at home, but I'm just preparing someone's constitution for them. That's why I'm in the house, and I just streamed the TV and I saw it.
We stream live on Facebook. We stream live on Facebook. So on your way, just put it on Facebook.
All right, I'll do just that. I'm happy. I want to say thank you to the two panel members. They have done a great job this morning. And I'm a Muslim. I just want to share something with you. I'm a Muslim. I got married to a Christian. I got married to a Christian.
Okay.
And we have married for about 15 years. First May will be about 15 years.
Wow.
And it wasn't easy at the initial stage. Did very well. They never looked at my background as a Muslim. But they said that no, what is important is that I can stay with their daughter. And we got married. It was a traditional one. We never worried our heads to do any white wedding whatsoever. She was an Adventist. And after 10 years of marriage, she decided to join me to be a Muslim.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Now we have 5 kids, 2 boys and 3 girls. Okay, so I just want to add up to what they were saying, that the traditional marriage, before a marriage can sustain up to this age, please, we all need to understand each other. There are 5 things that makes relationship or marriage successful, which I can't take them through. I'll just mention 1 or 2, and then someone will also come in.
Right.
The first thing is love. You see, the love that I'm talking about is not about the ones that people also say, oh, I love you, I love you. No. The love I'm talking about go beyond beauty. Looking at your face on the screen, you look very beautiful. Look at your
Thank you.
That tomorrow, your nose is not the same way it is today.
Yes.
Will I still say I love you?
Yeah.
That is key. It doesn't matter. Some time ago, I met a woman who got married to a man, but the woman was normal, but it got to a point in the course of the marriage, the woman had an accident, and her 2 legs was amputated. She was a teacher. Every morning, the husband will make sure that he has sent the woman to school before he also go to work. That is the love I'm referring to.
Yeah.
And the other ones, we have compatibility, congeniality, sufficient sexual satisfaction, and maturity. These are the key important things that we need to look at. The most important among the 5 is maturity.
Maturity. Adams, you've spoken well, and maturity is the one thing that everybody needs to think of if you're choosing.
A key role in interfering with the marriage itself, and I think they should, leave the couple to enjoy themselves a bit before
find their own level.
Yes, somebody said, if I get married, I want to make sure that his sisters are dead or the mother is dead.
That's
like, where are you coming from with that? Said the interferences from them is too much. Okay. No, the mother thing is okay, but the sisters, I'm like, what do sisters do in marriage?
I wish we could go on and on and on with this conversation. Anytime a conversation is interesting, time flies without you realizing. But unfortunately, concentrate on each ethnic group marrying themselves.
I think we're moving from a homogeneous society to a hetero society. So I think boy meets girl again. If you think it works for you, fly with it.
Okay.
But make it work.
Make it work.
Make it work. Make it beautiful. Make
Mr. Davis.
Yes. I go that way too. It doesn't matter where the person is coming from. Once you have got was it Mohammed? Adam said, you have maturity there, you have love there, you have a good interpersonal relationship.
That's what we're grateful. I've been speaking to Madam Akosia Abdullah and Mr. Davis, and they've been helping us to talk about traditional marriages, our inter-ethnic group marriages, and everything. Now, happy birthday to you, Ajua Abrefa of Parliament House. Today is your birthday. Margaret Burden says she wishes you nothing but the best. Enjoy your day today. We pray for long life, good health, and so much for being here again.
Thank you for having us.
Grateful. And for you at home, please share the word and let people watch it. Prime morning, every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I've been doing this with Jay Foley, and my name is Roslyn Felly. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.